people.
Oh,
Good lad.
what? No.
Well done. Nearly there.
Well done. No.
Hello.
Hello,
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 David.
You go, Dave. I started into bed.
Oh, thanks very much.
I felt just dreadful, absolutely dreadful, that I couldn't look after this gorgeous little bundle, that it wasn't happy, he wasn't happy, didn't show signs of happiness at all, really.
Who do you think will let us in, David?
Oh, hello, David. Come on in.
Have you got to give you?
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. There you go, good lad.
What a good guy.
As time went on, he wasn't speaking, he wasn't talking, he wasn't walking, and his development was very, very slow. He was all floppy. I couldn't change him properly on my knee.
8 times 4 is 32.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Is it you?
Tasty. Is it very tasty? Are you chewing this properly? Oh yeah, keep chewing, keep chewing, keep chewing, keep chewing, keep chewing, keep chewing, keep chewing.
We had a 6-month assessment, and the experts, in inverted commas, looked at him and said, right, there is a problem here. We don't know what it is. He's not developing the way he should do. His muscle tone is not very good. He was at that time hurting himself, pulling his hair, the back of his head. But there was nothing forthcoming in the way of real help. So we were stuck in the situation of not knowing what to do. Eventually, he went to a specialist hospital for them to look at him. They came up with a simple solution, that it was developmental delay. He might walk, he might talk, he might not. There was also at that time a thought process that it was lazy parenthood. Now, lazy parenthood, in other words, we didn't try with our son. He was allowed not to do anything. We didn't engage him mentally or physically. This was far from the truth, but it was a common misconception.
5, 1, 2, 3.
With a bit of luck, and it will take a lot of time, I'm not thinking that it'll be tomorrow or next year, they'll be able to help him even further so that he can be happy and content, which is all we've ever wanted for the poor lad.
It's a waterproof, shockproof biosensor,
Right, okay.
to be worn on the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
It records various peripheral physiological measures as people get more stressed or excited. That's the sweating being detected by those 2 metal electrodes on the end of the wristband. Photoplasmography, which is a measure of cardiovascular reactivity.
That way, you can get an instantaneous readout of my heart rate, my...
Yeah.
Now you see the top one is the lead?
Yeah.
That should be the middle one.
Okay.
Up and down, that's it.
The more severely impacted, who we understand the least and who we seek to help, we know very little about because we cannot get data from them in these traditional settings. We also develop camera systems and microphone systems where we can synchronize what is happening in the external environment, what is being measured by the sensors inside the body, and how does the internal state and the external demands in the environment interact to produce challenging behaviors.
At the end there we go. Come on, shovel it all on. There we go. Well done.
Basically, they're constantly barraged with information all the time from their sensory environment. Now, if we're able to understand to what extent the sensory environment is affecting the anxiety of the individual, then we can provide, hopefully, some very low-level strategies for those individuals to help reduce their stress and anxiety. Things like ear defenders and dark glasses. So we're looking at trying to provide some interventions early enough to reduce the level of anxiety so that people don't hit those crisis behaviours that cause them to harm themselves, harm others, or damage property. Because actually those are the key drivers that are going to impact on their ability to have a good quality of life. And ultimately what we want as a support provider is to ensure that everybody who comes into contact with our organisation, or everybody globally with an autism spectrum condition, has a good quality of life.
Well done, mate. Oh, look at this. Brilliant. Oh, Robbie. Oh, watch what you're doing. The arse on the back as well. Well, eh?